Warm greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. What a timely gathering that we come together amidst the world's most gruesome pandemic, one that continues to threaten everything we know about how to live our lives. And yet we meet in hope at this 2021 Africa Open for Business Summit. This is exactly what we ought to be doing, forging ahead with a stubborn hope, looking beyond recovery towards 2030, and that all-important agenda for sustainable development. Thank you for zoning in on a critical topic for this year's summit, women's empowerment and advocating for their leadership in the private sector and across sectors in Africa and the Africa diaspora. It is leadership across the board that is needed to seize the immense opportunities that COVID-19 presents us with. So let me start by thanking the African Renaissance and Diaspora Network for your leadership in championing and hosting this crucial meeting. You have created an inclusive space that recognizes the power of women as a pivotal force for development. So today, let me bring you one main message. There is a shift in the operative frame of African business, but given this shift, its intended prosperity dividend relies on women. Why do I say this? I believe that women are the heartbeat of trade in Africa. They constitute 60 to 70% of informal traders in most of Africa, generating up to 60% of GDP. There is also a broader and growing representation of women in small and medium enterprises. What this means is that when we talk open for business, we can only do so meaningfully if women are front and center. The advent of startup trading under the historic Africa Continental Free Trade Area heralds a new dispensation in which Africa can correct some of the structural challenges that keep the continent at the bottom of the global value chains. Experts predict that effective implementation of the AfCFTA will see agri-food production grow by 41%, and industry is projected to grow by 39%. There are also very good prospects for the services sector. When we look back at our starting point of intra-Africa trade, currently at 15%, we can see why it is no light prospect that the continent is now shifting to stronger gear on the open for business agenda. But this agenda must be about inclusion, and it must focus on how to equip women to maximize opportunities in this free trade area. We must, without a doubt, focus on enabling women get a head start towards increasing their capacities to leverage the AfCFTA. This means understanding what their ecosystem bottlenecks are and gathering a collective muscle to make things easier. So UNDP, at the request of the AfCFTA Secretariat and working together with UN Women, has been taking the pulse in countries, asking women, what will it take to make this heartbeat of trade thrive? The responses have been quite eye-opening, and just let me share some highlights of what the women are telling us. They're saying that we must look at access to cheaper raw materials, integration into larger value chains, that we must support meeting of export standards. We must connect to key market information, invest in practical skills upgrading, including leveraging digitalization, and that we must beat down that exclusionary reality of limited access to cheap trade finance. What strikes me in these findings is that they are the bread and butter of trade capacity building, and more so, they are not insurmountable. With Young Women, we're pulling all this information together to tell the story that will inform an upcoming negotiation for an AFCFTA protocol on women in trade. In this way, we hope to contribute to making the business environment more friendly, more inclusive, but also more supportive of women. UNDP is approaching this with an eye on the promise. We believe in this transformative power of women in trade. We are working with partners like UNECA, like UNCTAD, within the framework of the One UN family to bring a stronger value proposition of regional assets to UN country teams. Take our partnership with UNITA, where we're rolling out an online training on entrepreneurship and financial literacy for women and girls in 4 regional economic communities, IGAD, ECOWAS, SADC, and ECAS. Or also a partnership with the International Trade Center, with whom we are working to improve access to AFCFTA market information. We know that through these initiatives, we can lift the capacity of leadership in trade so that women can thrive. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me close by reiterating that we are onto something new in Africa. It can change the stakes, but it will not happen automatically. It would take all of us, including that powerful force of the diaspora. You should bring in your capacities, bring your skills and know-how, bring your voice, tell the story of Africa differently, and more importantly, build and buy made in Africa goods. Let us work together to ensure that this new posture towards trade for sustainable development is inclusive, is transformational, and is ingrained in the continent's heartbeat, our women. You can certainly count on UNDP, and I want to thank you very much for your attention.